taking some notes, guys, go ahead and get some folks on this leadership summit. Go ahead and get some folks on the summit wherever they're calling in from, wherever they're on Facebook, if they're on YouTube, wherever they are. Go ahead and get some people on the summit. Let's get this thing going. And you know, it's so big because, you know, what I heard should have been taking notes. And it's so powerful. It's so powerful. Let me make sure you guys can see me. Good. Can y'all see me? Y'all can see me really good right now? Okay, awesome. You should have been taking some notes because, see, sometimes you got to start anything off with information that people will be able to use, right? Information people will be able to use. I am saying to you guys right now, you have a minute or two. You should have, you know, I know you came in, you got to it, you saw the video on, the information was already being spewed out to you, but tag a friend. Tell your mom, your sister, your cousin, these people who need to hear this, because there's folks who are trying to level up in their life. There's folks who are trying to get to a certain place in their life, and they, ladies and gentlemen, they want to know. They want to be in the know. So help them to get in the know. Help them to get in the know. Let's get as many individuals, all hands. It's a many hands make light work. Let's go ahead and hold hands, lock arms, so that we can get this information. Get this information so we can go out and let it be known, because that is the thing that we lack. That is the thing that we lack. Now, you heard some of the things. What are some of the common problems you guys heard that he talked about, what people face? Did anybody take any notes? Did anyone understand what are some of the common problems? Did you guys hear some of the common problems that that he talked about that people face when it comes down to leadership? Because here is why you hear me. We're so intense. It's so deliberate, so intentional about speaking about leadership on this leadership summit, because everything, it rises and falls with the leader. So you're a leader in your life, right? You're a leader in your life, ladies and gentlemen. You're a leader in your life. I like it. People have been taking notes. That's what I'm talking about. You're a leader in your life. And no matter what you are doing, you are a leader in your life. In some way, shape, or fashion, you are a leader in your life, even if you're only leading you. So for one, some of us, we need to learn how to lead ourselves. We need to learn how to lead ourselves. That is so key. We need to learn how to lead ourselves. That's why I said, tag your friend, tag your sister, tag everyone. Tell them, hey, jump on in. We need to learn how to lead ourselves, because what happens is you're leading in every capacity. So the key is when it's time to step out from leading yourself to be able to lead others. That is the key. That is the key, ladies and gentlemen. When it's time to step out from yourself, okay, and to be able to lead others. So what are some of the common things? I saw some of you guys putting some of the common things in there. One of the things that, the things that I took note on, are some key things that I took note on, because I know that you guys have been taking notes and you've heard it. But some key things I took note on is, one, not enough time. Not enough time. I want y'all to think about that. What do we hear? We hear this all the time. We hear this all the time. People are always talking about there's not enough time. When it comes down to stepping into a new role, when it comes down to I need to scale my business, when it comes down to I need the new position, when it comes down to I need additional income, when it comes down to I need that vacation, when it comes down to I want to do this for my children, when it comes down to me and my spouse would like to do this, when it comes down to, oh, I would like to find a spouse in my life, a significant other. But then we come right into not enough time. Not enough time. Think about it. Now, when you start making that statement, I want you to really think about that really good. When you start saying it's not enough time, what do you mean? Okay, what do you mean? See, not enough time to me in one aspect is a sense of control, right? The sense of control. See, time, the pressures of time, it goes hand in hand with feeling you're not in control of your own schedule. That's why I said sense of control. The pressures of time, it go hand in hand with feeling that you're not in control of your own schedule. See, people often complain of being in a time bind, right? Not only because they are objectively busy, but also because they perceive a lack of control over their time. These are documented studies that has been done. People perceive literally the lack of control over their time. See, it goes deeper when you start talking about not enough time. What do you mean? What do you mean? Right? Need you understand that it goes hand in hand with your feeling. You don't have control over your own schedule. You're a doctor. You've gone to school for umpteen years, but then you don't have enough time. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to really think about that. One of the other things I took away from it said, not enough help. You know, I wanted my awesome wife to break that down to you guys because I've heard that so many times over the years, because as we scale in our business, my wife has said to me, I need more help. I need more help. What are you doing about me having more help? My brain is operating like this. My brain is moving like this, right? And ladies and gentlemen, so she needs the help to take what she has in her brain, she put it on paper, and then have it delegated to be worked on, right? But then some of us, we're in a space of when we say not enough help, we are not even doing that. We're not even starting. We are not even starters. You have not even been a self-starter to yourself. You've not even been a self-starter to yourself. But then you're saying, I don't have help. You're doing what I like to say, the bare minimum, the base. What is the base? Get up, brush your teeth, get your shower, clock in, go through that day of whatever it may be. On your way home, maybe you stop, have a drink, hang with the fellas, or say hello to the ladies. Come home, you have your favorite show that might have been recorded. Kick up your feet, call some family members, and you're watching television. Preparing again for the following day. Saying that you want to do something, but you're never jumping. You're never creating that action. You're never starting. And then you say, I don't have enough help. I work 12 hours, or I work 16 hours, or I work 10 hours, and I have the babies, but I don't have enough help. I would have done this if I had enough help. I would have been this if I had enough help. I could have been this super XYZ if it was me and someone else. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think about that. See, there are some feelings and some things that's deeply rooted in the wrong place. There's some feelings and some things that's deeply rooted in the wrong place. So instead of seeing ourselves as something great and that there's a benefit to your movement, you see liability. I hope y'all hearing me. Instead of seeing yourself as a benefit and a movement to yourself, you see liability. Because you cannot start because you continue to shut down the thought of starting by saying there's not enough help. If y'all are with me, go ahead and put 1 in the chat. If you're with me, type 1. Wherever you're calling in from, type 1. I want to know who is with me today. If you're with me, because it's a lot of information today. It's a lot of information today. One of the other things I took away from is don't know how. Don't know how. Just talked about being a self-starter. Don't know how. I want y'all to think about that. When you guys hear don't know how, for my audience and these awesome individuals out here, when you hear don't know how, what comes to mind? Go ahead and type it for me. Type it in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Type it in the chat. When you hear that, right? What comes to mind, right? When you hear don't know how, guys, type it up for me. I want to know where you guys are. I want to know what people are thinking about, right? When you say don't know how, what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? Right? I want to know what you guys are. I know where you guys are. Right? I want to know where you guys are. when you hear that don't know how. See, here's the thing, right? There's a science to setting goals and to reaching it. See, there's a science to setting goals and reaching it, ladies and gentlemen. There, I will recommend a book after talking about these points that I think most of you should read. Some of you might have heard of the book, right? There's a science. See, underachievers, complainers, and mediocre mindset, ladies and gentlemen. It literally have a habit. These type of people, we have a habit when you're that type of person of blaming, right? Blaming others for your failure. We have a habit of doing that. You start saying, don't know how, I don't know how to do this. I can't be like you, or you're just great because you are you, or you've just always been doing this for so long. So this is why this works for you. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to do it. We spend so much time in the I don't, that we stir our energy level up in confusion in opposed of bringing it down in a receiving zone. Because every time something come up for you to excel, you go into confusion and you repel. You cannot excel because you constantly are repelling based on your behavior. So when I said there's a science of setting goals and reaching it, it's a science. See, there is a science, ladies and gentlemen, because you got to understand that regardless of your circumstances, all the power in the world lies in your, see that? All the power in the world lies in your what? What am I waving? Lies in your hand. It lies in your hand. Guys, one of my next takeaways is don't have enough money. Don't have enough money. That part right there. If you were listening to what he was saying, you were talking about don't have enough money. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't take major capital to start anything. It doesn't take, let me even reverse further. Let me just reverse further. I'm gonna reverse further. It doesn't take money to start anything. Woo! I don't think y'all ready. I don't think you guys are ready. Don't have enough money. That's what I got on my notes right here to my left. Don't have enough money. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't take money to start anything. Is somebody with me? Are you guys hearing me? Are you guys hearing me? I mean, I want to know, are you guys hearing me? It doesn't take money to start anything, ladies and gentlemen. What does it take to start something? You know, I got some powerful individuals that's looking in and watching in on this call. What does it take? What do you all believe? I want you guys to type it. What do you all believe it takes to start something? What do you all believe it takes to start something? Somebody type it up in there for me. What do you believe it takes to start something? All right. I want to hear who is listening, who is paying attention. All right. I want to know who is paying attention. All right. I want to hear who is paying attention. See, I see some people, they're hitting the hammer. They're hitting the hammer. They're hitting the hammer. All right, guys, listen to this. It takes belief. It takes belief to start anything. See, the action is not what's going to happen first. The action is not what's going to happen first. He said a few things, and one of the things I took note of, it says, don't have enough money. See, everything that we said so far, not enough time, not enough help, don't know how. Now I'm down to don't have enough money. It takes belief. You must understand something, ladies and gentlemen. It first starts in the mind. See, some of you might have heard the slogan. Some of you might have heard it being said before, but really haven't dived into the meaning, the depth of the meaning. Whatever the mind of a man can conceive and believe, he shall surely achieve. Take note of it really well. Whatever the mind of a man can conceive and believe, he shall surely achieve. So you must conceive something, because that's what I gathered. Because when he said, don't have enough money, here's the thing. We start talking about, I don't have the money, so I can't do it. I got 10 kids. I work 8 hours a day, and I work 7 days a week, and I don't have no money. I got to take care of them babies. I want you to understand something. You hear that. Let's go to the extreme. Listen, I work 12 hours. I got my kids. There ain't no baby daddy, or there's no mom, and there's nobody to help me. I got so much happening. I don't have enough time. We heard that. I don't have enough help. We heard that. Then it get into really the nitty gritty. I don't know how. And I told you guys that we're so high on confusion that instead of us bringing it to us, we're repelling it, right? So now we're at the don't have enough money. And I just said to you guys, whatever the mind of a man can conceive. So that means you have to conceive something, right? That means you have to conceive. You have to come up with an idea. So for the people that are out here, no matter where you are in this world, and you're watching this right now, you're saying to yourself, but I don't have. See, right there is a statement that you need to shut down. I don't have. You ought to say to yourself, I will erase this verbiage and I will replace it. Here's the thing. I will erase this verbiage, but not just erase, I will replace it with something else. Because see, we can't just erase, because nothing will be erased if you erase it and leave it with a void. See, this is how you create that change that you're trying to acquire. You cannot erase something without adding something. So when I don't have enough money, you will replace it when you erase it with I am grateful, or I am happy and grateful now that I'm the lender. I don't think y'all understanding me. You see that you have to conceive the concept. Then what you conceive, you can't, it doesn't stop there. You got to believe what you conceive. You know, growing up, you hear some people say, man, you tell yourself a lie so much, you keep saying it so much, you start believing that lie. See, we hear that when we've heard those terminologies growing up, some of us in a sarcastic tone. And we're like, oh my God, that's so right. He lies so much. But if we only understand that we can auto-suggest greatness in our life because we already possess greatness, then you won't have to be making that statement that you just talked about in that video, don't have enough money. Because then you will know that the don't have enough money is that I'm happy and grateful now that I'm the lender. So you erase, you pull one out, but you slot something in. That's what we got to do. We got to remove and slot in. This is what's so powerful. Remove and slot in. Remove, slot in. And when we slot it in, we have to constantly speak on it, verbalize it. You verbalize it so much that it becomes a burning desire. Remember I said, whatever the mind of a man can conceive, right? Right? And that's what I said, what you can conceive. Now, listen to this. One of the other notes that I took, I said, they don't believe they can. They don't believe they can. People do not believe that they can. Now, for all of those who watch this video in the beginning, I want you guys, I want to hear what you guys gotta say as you guys type it in. They don't believe that they can. Some of us, most of us, some of you all that might be listening, wherever you're listening to, you go into situations, you don't believe that you can. That starts the beginning of what? We got to analyze something when we don't believe that we can. What are we looking to analyze? What are we looking to analyze? Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I said when we talked about Not enough time. I talk about self-control. I said time pressures goes hand in hand with the feeling that you're not in control of your own schedule. So now when we're at the point of don't believe that they can, ladies and gentlemen, that has to do with confidence. That has to do with confidence. Am I confident in what or the idea that I've conceived? Am I confident in what or the idea that I have conceived? No, now notice what I'm saying. Am I? Now, doesn't that sound like an oxymoron? Am I confident in the idea that I've conceived? Now, ask yourself this question, wherever you are right now. Why am I not confident when I'm the one who conceived the idea? I don't know if y'all ready today. I don't know if y'all ready today. I said there's a science. Listen to this. There is a science of setting your goal and then reaching it. There's a science, right? There's a science. But check this out. Ask yourself that question. Am I confident of the idea? That's what it's really saying, that I conceived. You know what? I'm gonna start a computer business. Let's date back 30 years, 40 years. Let's date back as Apple was going to be started. You know what? I'm going to take the idea and I'm going to go in and I'm going to merge and work and show the system of Macintosh what really needs to be done. And then we will merge it and we will shorten it, because now we've merged it, we become Apple. It's Mac. We took out the Macintosh, but it's Mac. I got this idea, but I'm not confident in my idea. Do you believe if Steve Jobs was not confident in his idea, would we have Mac? Would we have these phones? Would we have these iPods? Would we have these iPads? Would we have all these different things that they have created? This is what, when he was talking about how you can be effective leadership. Remember, I said with everything with leadership, you are leading yourself every day. Now it's time to understand truly how to lead yourself correctly, because once you decide that you want to step further, one step, you have to know that you've been leading you effectively. Now you need to learn how to lead others. See, that is so key. Confidence. What are those confident areas that people lack in? Let's look at that really quick. Talk about three things. I like to talk about three things in that. One, people, they'll lack the confidence in God. It's number one. See, whether you are a believer or a non-believer, you know that you're not just existing here without a power above you. Let's just be clear. That's it. Whatever you want to call that power, whatever your belief system is, I call that power the Most High God. So one, confidence. Confidence is lacked in God. When they said, I don't believe they can. Then what is one of the other things that they lack confidence in? In self. In self. That's one of the other things they lack confidence in. They don't believe that they can do it. This is what we were talking about. They don't believe that it's possible. So if you don't believe, if you are already a doubting Thomas, if you are someone who always doubts others, or even if you never spoke it out loud, but you always have that frown face, you always have that screwed up lip, because when you see things on television or wherever you go, it's not something that you believe. And because you don't believe it, you believe that it cannot happen. Because why? That's because you lack confidence in self, because you know you could not achieve it, because you lack the confidence in self. Are y'all with me? If you guys are with me, Go ahead and type with me. Wherever you are, type with me. I want to know if you guys are with me. If you're with me, type with me. I want to make sure that you guys are with me. I want to make sure you guys are with me. This is really key for us to understand how powerful this is. Okay? I want to make sure that you guys are here with me today because this is serious. What he was just saying, we look at these things and we really don't realize how important it is. Okay? How important it is. That we're lacking confidence first in your creator, and then you lack confidence in self. Now look at how big that is. Before I talk about the third thing, look at how big that is. Look at how big that is. You have already separated. So I need you to look at this. Look at this analogy. This is ceiling. This is your covering. This is the universe. This is the world. This is the everything, the unknown that controls all things. And you are supposed to be attached right here. And you already separated yourself. You brought yourself low. You separated yourself. So you're supposed to be plugged in where you get the energy and the kinetic force and everything that is coming straight to you. But you unplug because why? You lack the confidence. What does that mean? You lack the belief because you couldn't, the idea that you conceived, you can't even believe it. You can't believe your own idea. You couldn't even believe if you were Michael Jordan before the world know the name Michael Jordan. You couldn't believe that you can be Michael Jordan. You couldn't even believe to say, well, look, I can jump from the three-pointer line. I can jump from this shot. I can do this. I can do. You don't believe it. You came up with it. You conceived. But guess what? You couldn't follow out. So, ladies and gentlemen, you got to understand the action is the other part. It's not, the action is not the first, it's the conceiving the concept, conceiving the idea, believing what you conceive. And in that believing, you create an action because now that action from believing that really turns into the burning desire. That's why I said you have to replace something, right? I don't have enough money. Oh, I don't believe it. That they don't believe that they can. You got to replace that don't have enough money and say, I'm happy and grateful now that I'm the lender. I'm happy and grateful now. And you want to continue to say that over and over and over again. Guys, one of the third things I got on the confidence here is if they're in business, now listen to this. This is for the people who've already said, well, you know what? I've made the step. I'm doing good. I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay, or whatever they say. But then they get to a point. Things ain't going right for me. I just can't excel any further. I think I've hit a ceiling. How can I get past the ceiling? It goes right back to those checkpoints that I'm talking about. Because that means you got to first check yourself and say, am I being coachable at this point in my life? Am I teachable at this point in my life? Okay. And then that third thing right there is, do I believe in the product? Do I believe in the product? I need y'all understand me. Do I believe? Because now you're this business person. You have this organization. You're now in management. You're now a supervisor. You're now a COO. You're now a CFO. You're stepping up. You're dealing acquisition and mergers. You're doing major things. And guess what happened? You get to a ceiling. Boom, nothing can happen. You got to reevaluate. Am I coachable and teachable in this season? Am I coachable and teachable in this season? Because you got to remember, you got to go back to that checklist and say, oh, maybe right now I'm thinking I don't have enough time. Because now I believe that I have done so much. Now I think I don't have enough time. Next thing you got to say, well, maybe I need some more help. These are all the things you got to go back through yourself to make sure that, guess what? You're being coachable. You're being teachable. And then you got to realize that at the bottom of it all, you got to say to yourself, well, am I lacking confidence at this point in my career, in my life? I need y'all to hear me because some of y'all might already been earning a certain level of capital. And you believe because you've gotten to this level of capital, there's a level of comfort that comes with that earning potential. And when you've leveled out to that place and you get comfortable, then you start believing that you cannot stretch anymore. You start believing, right, that you're good. You start believing that everything is in place. And when anything else come at you, you start saying you don't have enough time. You don't have enough help. You can't get to this. You can't do this. You can't do that. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. You have to believe in yourself. You got to believe in your creator. You got to believe in that product that you are pushing, that business that you are pushing, that organization that you're a part of. You have to believe in it. So when people say they don't believe they can, it is because that three-part structure, the Most High in self and product, the Most High in self and the business that they're employed in, the Most High in self and the position of CFO, CEO, supervisor, whatever it is, manager, whatever it is, you're lacking in some one of these areas. And it is imperative that we understand how this works. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to leadership, there's different styles. There's eight, like there's, I wouldn't just say eight, but I would say most common 8 leadership styles. There's really key when you start talking about what is some of the common leadership style and how do you find your own to be able to break this barrier, to be able to not be in the space and talk about there's not enough time. You know what I mean? You don't want to be in the space to say, well, you know, I don't have enough help. See, a good leader should always, right? A good leader, when you're a good leader, you have gone the way before. So you have the knowledge, right? When you're a good leader, because you have the knowledge, you're wiser to the direction that you have to go again and how to show someone. See, a leader, how you finish a sentence as a leader, how you lead, it can reveal a lot about a leader and the leadership lifestyle or the leadership style that leader is moving in. See, leadership is a fluid practice, ladies and gentlemen. It is a fluid practice. It's not just, I led today, now I can put the arms down and I'm done. Leadership is a fluid practice. We're always changing and improving in ways in which would help ourselves and our company grow. You're always changing. You got to remember, things are always evolving, right? So guys, write down these types of leadership style. I just want to give you some types of leadership style really quick. What we're under, what we deal with in our country, what we deal with in life, right? One of the style of leadership is called democratic leadership. Okay, one of the style of leadership is called democratic leadership, right? Democratic leadership. We look at our country, as it's supposed to be a democracy or how we operate, right? Democratic leadership. It's exactly what it sounds like, guys, right? The leader makes decision based on the input of each team member. Each team member, democratic leadership. That's although he or she have the final call, each employee or a team member has an equal say on the direction a project is going. Even though that leader has the final say or the final call, okay? Now, it's one of the most effective leadership style because it allows a lower level employee, right, to exercise authority, right, and feel that that authority can be used wisely in a future position, right? It allows that lower level employee to be able to do that. That's a powerful thing because now you are allowing others to give input. Okay. Are you guys with me? If you're with me, go ahead and type 7 in the chat. If you're with me, I don't want to lose you guys, right? I don't want to lose you. I want to make sure that you're getting effective information that will allow you to grow. I want to make sure you guys are getting effective information that would allow you to go. Now, for example, when we talk about the democratic leadership style, in a company's board meeting, a democratic leader might give the team a few decision-related options. That's what a democratic leader might do, right? They might do that. They could then open a discussion about each option. After the discussion, the leader might take the board through a feedback, and that leader may take into consideration, or they might even open the discussion for a vote. That's what happens when you're talking about the democratic leadership. So it's key for you to understand that. The second style of leadership, okay, is autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership. AUTOCRATIC for the people who do not know that. Right? Now, I tell you this because you got to understand the covering you're under. When you're in a business, an organization, we have a government that we're under, the law of the land. You got to understand the type of leadership that you're seeing, and you're trying to figure out how do you form your own. Now, that autocratic leadership is the inverse of democratic leadership, right? That's all it is. It's the inverse of democratic leadership. In this leadership style, guys, the leader makes decisions without taking input from anyone who reports to them. Oh, Jesus. I don't know if y'all understand me. I don't know if y'all understand me. See, you got the democratic leadership where that leader takes input. The autocratic leadership, that leader, it does not take input to the people who report to them. Employees are neither considered nor consulted prior to a direction. Now, if you have seen this in your workplace, if you've worked anywhere else, if you've experienced this, if this is happening currently, go ahead and put 10 in the chat. Go ahead and put 10 in the chat. I want to know who's with me. I want to know who understands it, who might have been in a position of autocratic leadership. Okay? I need you to understand. I want to know who I'm talking to out here. I want to know who I'm talking to. We experience these things, but we don't know what these types of leadership mean. We don't really know what's happening. We just say, oh, this person mean. So we start saying, this person mean, this person this. But we don't understand what's really happening. We don't understand. So you got to understand the differences in inverse leadership to democratic leadership. That's all autocratic leadership is. Now, guys, I'm not going to go deeper into autocratic leadership because, like I said, you guys get the book when it's done. That leadership book is going to be so powerful. Okay? It's going to be so powerful. Then number three is the laissez-faire leadership. Number 3 is laissez-faire leadership. That's Laissez. Laissez and fair. Faire. Faire. Laissez-faire leadership. Right? Now, a lot of you might have been under this type of leadership or may not have been. And if you remember the concept of some of the things you've gone through in high school, some of you guys might be in high school, high school teachers. Some of you might have high school students in your home, right? And you might have gone through where you're in school and the French teacher you're teaching you, or the math teacher. Remember in high school, that French teacher, you're accurately assume that this laissez-faire leadership is at least it's intrusive form of leadership. That's what it is. The laissez-faire leadership, it's the least intrusive form of leadership. What do I mean when I say that, right? What I mean, the laissez-faire leadership is where someone is not only you perceive an idea, but you're letting someone do just what you would like them to do by recommending and having them do that. The idea that you come up with, you're allowing someone to create the idea and feel as if everything was structured by them, because all they had was the direction by you, and then they came up with the rest. So what happens, ladies and gentlemen, is that the participation of a person in any affairs, in any which way, allows them to feel whole, allows them to feel comfortable, allow them to feel that they're a part of something. Okay? That is so powerful, because here's the thing. It's like some parents, right? Some of us may not like it. Some of us may say, hey, look, your laissez-faire concept is not going to work in the household. You can't just have the kids hey, honey, what do you feel like doing? Well, I feel like doing this, and that. Right? Some of us may say, well, we don't like that. But then guess what, ladies and gentlemen? See, You could only know people or someone or their capability if you open the door and tell them to run. Because see, you can't see an issue, solve an issue, if you don't even know where an issue is coming from, stemming from, growing from, being birthed from. If you guys understand me, ladies and gentlemen, if you understand me, go ahead and type 777. Wherever you come, if you understand me, type 777. This is so key. See, the laissez-faire type of leadership, it can empower employees in your workplace. It can empower them. Why? Because you have given them that it breeds trust. Because you trust them to exhibit or exercise their concept, their ideals, and then you carve it out to make sure that it fits where it needs to fit. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, guys, let me know it makes sense. Let me know it makes sense. If it makes sense, let me know it makes sense. Now, one of the other one is strategic leadership. Strategic leadership. This is why it was so key for us to watch that video in the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. Strategic leadership. That's number 4. All right. Strategic leadership. Now, let's hold right there for a second. And I want to hear about my people who take notes and who are literally paying attention and who have been applying this into their life. You know, the Leadership Summit, guys, when we do these summit, we have strategic conversations. We talk about what's going on. We talk about how we can help people to be effective in their life. And if you have been applying any of this in your life, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been applying any of this, I want to really let me know in the chat. And if it's been effective, then I may give you a second to hear from you. I may give you a second to hear from you because it's so key for you guys to not only acquire this information, but to put it to work. And not only just to put it to work, but to gain an outcome from what you have put to work. Because I need to understand that I have folks out here that are doing just this, because we can't have a summit and people are not doing what needs to be done to help them succeed, to help them win. Have any of you been putting this in place? Have any of you been utilizing this? Have any of you been seeing an outcome? Because this is so key. Now, I know I got people from all over. I'm seeing someone type here, wherever you guys are, I need to know. Because this is so key for you guys to excel. Here's the thing. If you're in a workplace that you're a supervisor and you are over a few staff members, right? Or you're in a business that you have a team, an organization. You might be in an affiliate business. You might be in a marketing business. You might be a COO, a CEO of a company. You might do startups, different things. Then you need to be able to take this, look it over, see what applies, and put it into action. That is what's so key. See, I spoke to you guys about 3 forms of leadership, and I'm telling you guys about strategic leadership. And it's a commonly effective leadership. See, that strategic leader sits at the intersection between a company's main operation and its growth opportunities. That's what a strategic leader will do, right? I need to get that. Main intersection, growth opportunity. When you hear strategic, what do you think about when you hear strategic? For those that are on this summit, when you hear strategic, what do you think about when you hear strategic? Okay? Because see, that strategic person, he or she, they accept the burden of executive interest while ensuring, okay, that a company's working condition remains stable for everyone. That's what strategic leadership is about. Now, I said that I will tell you about a few leadership style and then how you can develop your own. So I'll pause at strategic leadership for a second. You've heard these few leadership styles, and we're talking about them, right? Strategic leadership, guys, it's a desirable leadership style in many companies. That's what it is. Because you need strategic thinking to be a strategic leader. It supports multiple types of employees at once. That's what that strategic leadership does. Now, from the few that you guys got and the information that you should have been documenting, where do you see yourself so far in between the four on how you can develop your leadership style? Where do you see yourself, ladies and gentlemen? From the four that you have written down, right? The four that you have documented, where do you see yourself, ladies and gentlemen, right? In where you now can literally say, okay, this is maybe the type of leader I can become. I want to hear from you guys in the chat. I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Where do you see yourself? Because there is four more, but we're not going to talk about it right this second. I want to hear, because this definitely warrants a continuation on this particular type of summit. All right, where do you see yourself? Okay, I see somebody said they see themselves as democratic. That needs work. Okay, and I love honesty and transparency. I love honesty and transparency. Right? Where do you see yourself, guys? Where do you see yourself? Type it in the chat. You've heard, I literally talked about, I said, okay, I said the first one was democratic leadership. Second, autocratic. Third, laissez-faire. Fourth, strategic leadership. Strategic leadership. Now, I know some of you guys, I see messages popping up all over, and I know some of you guys are typing in from YouTube or wherever it is, and literally, you guys are truly trying to tell us where you see it. Now, listen to this, guys. Okay, I like that. Now, here's the thing. When you are deciding to form your leadership style, it is key to understand the plethora of leadership styles that's out there. Why? Why is it key? Because it is key for you to know if you fit in more than one of those categories. See, that is extremely important. Because, see, you don't have to fall in, just so you all know, you don't have to fall in only one category. The key to this structure is understanding all, but then being able, right, to pick from different areas to see how do I form what would be an elite type of leader. That's why it is key for you guys to always have, or for the people that who don't know of this book, the 5 levels of leadership. And the book that I said I was going to recommend to you all is The Magic of Believing. When we went into not enough time, not enough help, don't know how, the magic of believing. Because remember I said it starts with you conceiving an idea, but you got to believe in that idea. But then if you're going to understand what type of leadership or leader that you want to become, ladies and gentlemen, then guess what? You have to study those type of leadership. Now, this is so key. Now, guys, look at it. See this? This is the book right here. For some of you, this is the book. It's called The Magic of Believing. The Magic of Believing, all right? By Claude Bristol. Claude Bristol, The Magic of Believing. See, look, you might get the newer book to tell you how long I'm in the game. You understand? Got that soft cover, you know? You might get the newer book, right? But just to tell you how long I've been in the game, because see, you got to be in the game. See, you got to have the pages. You got to have the pages X'd out. You got to check things out. See, this is why I like the paperback, because I can write in areas. I can check out certain areas. I can fold a page and I can do some things, right? So that I can go back and I know what's hitting home with me. What I need to take away today, what I need to add. Because here's the thing about reading the book. You don't read a book and then throw it down. See, when you read a book, you're supposed to consume the information. So ask yourself this question as you guys move on into this powerful week. Do I drink water one day and stop? Or do I drink water every day in order to have life? Ask yourself that question. Then you'll understand that the mind Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it will surely achieve. But how can you conceive if you're not feeding the mind? How can you conceive if you're not feeding the mind? See, we must feed the mind. The mind is like the way water flows. You got to put it in every day, every day, every day. You got to continue to pour in because you have to develop yourself. Personal growth, personal growth, personal growth. Development is key in self. The same way you have to drink that water because lack of water. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, you know what will happen. You know what will happen. So the same thing that will happen with lack of water, guess what happened? It happens when we don't feed this. Happens when we don't feed this. But because most of us think I'm not feeding this, but I'm still able to walk around every day, we believe that we're good. And that's why the good book, I got about 3 of them right here to my left. The good book says that we perish for lack of knowledge. Because why? We don't instill knowledge. What we do is allow other people's vision to dictate how we live our lives. And how do we do that? Because we're plugged in to these things. We're plugged into these things. We're plugged into the TV. We're letting somebody tell us their vision for our life instead of us creating our own vision. So I need you to understand, when you start thinking about leadership, when you start thinking that, wow, I've been leading me. Every day I lead me. I get up, brush my teeth, take my shower, get up, get dressed. I'm off to work. I'm leading me every day. But I want better. How do I get better? Well, see, The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol. The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol. 5 Levels of Leadership by my mentor, John C. Maxwell. 5 Levels of Leadership. It's somewhere back in maybe this book pile or the other one in the other office, and there's so many books around here. But I tell you this, once you feed this, your desires will heighten. Once you feed this, conceiving ideas just populate. Once you feed this, the action will be easy because you'll start moving and don't even realize you're moving, because it's like a march, one step after the other. Because why? Now you have a burning desire. You know, it's like you turn on the fire under the kettle and that kettle gets so hot that it starts whistling. That's what's going to happen. You're going to start whistling into your greatness as you move into this week. You'll start whistling into your greatness as you move into that idea of what you've conceived. You'll start whistling into your greatness as you're building an organization that is blowing out. You'll start whistling into your greatness as you see that you've achieved a different level and the zeros in your bank account is changing. You'll start whistling into your greatness, because what will happen is not only the zeros changing yours, but those that you're leading, those that you're helping, those that you're a steward over, their zeros are going to change in their bank account. And you see, it's not about you. It's about the service that you give. And once you start serving, because you've been believing the idea that you've conceived, your desire is burning. And when your desire is burning on you, you start feeling like there's thorns just pricking you, just pricking you. You're like, oh my gosh, I got to do something. I can't sit still. I can't be in this chair watching somebody TV. I can't look at because the NBA season starts. I can't talk about I need front row seats. Front row can wait, because I need to own the stadium. I need to own the team. How about all those team members? They're playing for me. That, my friends, is how you move. That, my friends, is how you cultivate. That, my friends, is how you level up. Levitate to where you need to be. That's how you crush every step that you aim to achieve, because you're putting in what needs to be put in. And that burning desire, ladies and gentlemen, it will change your life. So guys, you got some homework. you got some homework, because we're going to do the part 2 so you guys can hear the remaining leadership styles, right? So I want you to look at the 4 that you've got, right? And I want you to go ahead and kind of look at your notes. If you took notes, if you're a great mental notice person, hey, documentation beats conversation, right? So guess what? If you took the notes, then go through it and see, what type of leader am I? How can I be better? How can I get to a level? Because the better I become, guess what happens? The better those that follow me gets the information, because the leader has to go the way, because the leader needs to know how to show the way. So you cannot just show and point it out, but you have never been. Don't tell me you've been to the mountaintop and you've never seen the mountaintop, because then you don't understand the pathways in taking me back up there. That is how you should run. This week, ladies and gentlemen, let your week be a week of greatness. Let everything that you touch blow out for greatness. Let your mind be the mind of a creative. Let your desire burn, that it is such a burn that that kettle is whistling, and every step of the way, everything that you do, whatever doors, handles that you touch, it open, and you got a light of greatness that will shine on you. Do not allow anything to cloud your path this week, because greatness is already on you. Remember, it's right here, ladies and gentlemen. And everything rise and falls on leadership. So when your life does this, look at the man or the woman in the mirror, because you are the leader and the captain of your own ship. So guys, I really thank you guys. Really appreciate you guys for joining the Leadership Summit today. You guys are so amazing. So much love to all of you tuning in from all over the world. Truly appreciate you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, just kind of type in the chat, what would you guys want to hear on one of the Leadership Summit? What type of teaching? What do you guys want to hear? What topics do you guys want discussed on the Leadership Summit? Please, everyone, type it in the chat before we jump off. Wherever you guys are, just type it. What do you want to hear about? What do you want to know about, so that we can work on it, right? So that we can work on it. Ladies and gentlemen, really type it up in there so that my team can take note and they can get it across to me and we can work on it. So ladies and gentlemen, type it up for me. So much love for you guys, so much love. Just type some ideas so that we can get back to you, because this summit is yours. I am only a vessel leading, but guess what? It is yours, and we want to be able to give you what you need. So thank you guys very much. So much love for all of you. I hope that you have an empowered and blessed remaining of the week. You guys be blessed.